Say rolling around, sitting on doves, can't lie, I was high on shrubs.
Topical back with another video. I'm Strange Wayne. He is Nate. Today we are ranking all live action Star Wars films, our personal list. So I'll let him explain how this works.
Hang on. How we're going to do it is we'll both just kind of skim through our bottom six pretty quickly. Won't spend a whole lot of time talking about them. And then once we get to the top five, we'll do 5-4, 5-4, 3-2, 3-2, and then trade off number ones. And then after we do all of that, we will take a brief break from you and get together and combine our lists into the definitive Cinetopical favorite Star Wars movie list.
Alrighty. So you being the ginormous Star Wars fan that you are, hit us with you.
Sure. So the very bottom for me, number 11, is going to be Attack of the Clones. Not surprising there. It's the bottom on a lot of people's list. Followed by Phantom Menace at number 10. Revenge of the Sith at number 9. So all three prequels chill at the bottom of my list. Number 8, Rise of Skywalker. Freshly came out. Seen it twice. I feel like I have had enough time to sit on it to know where it's going to go in my... Yeah, to know where it's going to go in my list enough. Followed by... Huh?
For fun?
Yeah, I love Star Wars. Followed by The Force Awakens. And then just missing my top 5 is going to be Solo, A Star Wars Story. Alrighty.
So, Strange Wings 11 through 6 is going to be Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. Episode 1 has that lightsaber fight, like Darth Maul. That guy's dope.
That's... Oh, okay. Yeah.
Number 9 is going to be Episode 3. Mm-hmm. Number 8 is Return of the Jedi. Number 7 is The Rise of Skywalker. And number 6 is The Force Awakens. Because I'm going to categorize Rise of Skywalker and Force Awakens. They're just, I don't know. Like, they don't flow as well because Rian Johnson made a totally different movie. And Abrams made a totally different movie. Mm-hmm. And then Skywalker is like, you're trying to piece together what Rian Johnson did because everyone's pissed off. And I don't know. I would have liked if he made his vision. Because I felt like he was trying to please fans in this one.
Oh, way too hard. Yeah.
And so... That's why Force Awakens is in front of The Rise of Skywalker, because even though he played it way too safe for Awakens, I didn't have a terrible time in the movie theater. I wasn't bored completely the entire time.
That's fair.
My number 5 is going to be Return of the Jedi.
And goddamn Ewoks.
I don't understand what people's problem with Ewoks. I just don't understand what the problem with Ewoks is.
You serious?
Number 4 for me is going to be Rogue One. Phenomenal movie. Freaking love this movie a ton. It's phenomenal. I know that you made that face because I know where it's going to be on your list.
No, I'm pretty sure you said that was like your top 10 favorite movies of all time, right? Or am I thinking about the older list?
That's an older list.
Okay.
New Hope was on this one.
Okay.
The newest one. And Rogue One was still so fresh with me that it was like sitting in my head. And now that I've had much more time to process it and its place in the Star Wars universe. But I love Rogue One. I don't think the plot of them explaining the flaw in the Death Star is shoehorny at all. I think it fits perfectly.
I guess. I
love the way it ends. I love the darker tone. I love the fact that it definitely has more of a war movie feel than any other movie that has this title Star Wars in it. I love all the casting, and K2 is easily my favorite droid in the Star Wars universe.
All right, so my number 5 is going to be Empire. I'm not a Star Wars fan,
but I know I'm in the minority.
My number 4 is going to be Last Jedi, and we saw it in the theater, and you saw me how hard I popped for it then when they're fighting the red guys.
Yeah.
That shit's dope as fuck. She's dropping lightsabers and shit. And then from that, I've seen it like 2 or 3 times since then.
That's right, man. That's right.
I fucks with Last Jedi heavy.
Nice. That was your number 4?
Yeah.
All right, so my number 3 is going to be The Last Jedi. I love this movie. I really do. When a lot of criticism has obviously come out about Rise of Skywalker since its release. And to be completely honest with you, when I see the criticisms of Rise of Skywalker, every time I read something about it, I'm like, I mean, you're right. Like, I don't know why you're letting it ruin the movie for you that much. But, like, yeah, that is 100% a plot hole. And yes, that could have been better. And I wholeheartedly agree with a lot of the things that people are saying.
What's your point?
When criticism came out about Last Jedi, I have never I am not the kind of person to get on Twitter and like argue with people about stuff, but that like I did not understand it at all. I love this movie. I love the direction Ryan Johnson took it in. I love this like the steps in Rey's growth that it shows. And just like you mentioned, Rise of Skywalker,
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
all the moments that Ryan Johnson put in that movie are what Rise of Skywalker is missing. There are so many moments where it's like the story's moving, like the pacing in this movie is so good to me. It's like we're going, all right, we're cooling back down a little bit, and then Johnson throws something in there that just like makes the movie pop again immediately. Whether it's Kylo killing Snoke or the Holdo maneuver or any like things along those lines that are in the film. Freaking love it. I love where Luke is in this movie, and realizing you said you don't like Jedis. Well, it turns out the main one of the whole franchise doesn't either. So I love that. I love anything about people realizing something that they believed in so much isn't necessarily always what they thought it was cracked up to be, and personal growth, recognizing flaws. And the main theme of this movie is anyone can be that special person. It doesn't have to be because you're a Skywalker or you're a Palpatine or something like that. And I just love all the themes in that movie a lot. So my number 2 is going to be the first ever. It's going to be A New Hope. I did not grow up in the 80s or 70s either.
But your dad did.
But my dad did. So, and he's a huge Star Wars fan. So I did grow up watching these movies. I mean, I've said this in earlier videos. Look, memories from your childhood, the further back you go, can get a little, fuzzier. But I still have like this one specific vivid memory of watching original trilogy movies, like with my dad sitting on the living room floor, like coloring like Darth Vader in a coloring book, which is silly because he's all black. Facts. This movie just had such a huge impact on me as a child growing up, and then even going back and looking at it now. The arc that Luke has in the first movie, I can just feel like I can relate to it so much. Like him just being that farm boy staring at the two suns setting, wanting so much more for himself, feeling stuck in this small little world that he's in, and like wanting something better for himself. I love everything about that. And I can't explain the impact that Star Wars has had on my life. It's been huge. So that's the first one that started off. I'm sure it's probably the first one that my dad showed me when I was younger. And I love it a lot.
Alrighty, so we all hit my number 3, which was A New Hope.
Mm-hmm.
Han Solo.
Oh, he's great.
He's a scummy little bastard, and I love it. Next we have Solo, a Star Wars story.
Surprise, motherfucker.
I don't need the title Star Wars on there. This is just a fantasy film about people stealing shit. And it hits on every cylinder for that for me then. Mm-hmm. I don't love Star Wars, so I didn't have a problem with, he's not the solo. You got to get there. Progression. Everybody gets their heart broken, becomes an asshole, and then they find the love of their life, and then there you go. That's how it went for him.
Yeah, there's still hope for you, bud.
I hope not. But yeah, so Star Wars title aside, I think this is a great movie. It's fun. Woody Harrelson kills it. Mm-hmm. My boy Childish Gambino, Donald Glover kills it. Mm-hmm. So, I fuck with it. Yeah. And it still has the correct amount of fan service with the Darth Maul thing being thrown in there.
Sure.
Because, shit. He knows how to fight with a lightsaber. That's kind of cool. Mm-hmm. So, if I have to watch these movies later on, which probably not, maybe a series, but if I have to see him anymore,
yeah,
I'm not mad that he's going to be dope as fuck with a lightsaber. So, I really like Solo.
Yeah. So my number 1 is going to be Empire Strikes Back. Highly regarded as, objectively the best Star Wars movie of all time by a lot of people. This is just our favorite Star Wars movies list, and that just kind of lined up for me pretty well. Obviously, no one needs to explain to anyone watching this video what has often been regarded as the biggest twist in cinematic history.
It's debatable!
I think because it came so early in cinematic history, now that movies didn't have twists before then, but absolutely nobody saw that one coming at that time, right? So obviously it has that going for it. But again, it's just kind of all about Luke's journey still. You still get Han Solo being an absolute badass. You get my favorite Han Solo quote in that movie, which is, him and Leia are kind of like.
Wait, I know it.
Do you?
I know.
Do you?
Yeah. She says, "Oh, I love you, Han. I want to be on your dick," and he's like,
No. That's my second favorite Han Solo quote.
Oh, the Nerf herder.
No. So they're about to make out in this little side room, right, or whatever. And at first they're being all bickery and arguey like they are, because that's what they do. But then like the walls start coming down, and then she calls him a scoundrel, and he just says, "You like me because I'm a scoundrel. There aren't enough scoundrels in your
Really?
life." Yeah,
I've never heard you say that in your life.
Oh, I tweet it all the time. Like I don't know if it pops up because it's mostly replies, but people come up, like I just tweeted a random thing sometimes. Like people will be like, I don't like this guy because he's a scum, and then I'll just post a gif of Han Solo saying, "You like me because I'm a scoundrel."
So you're just scrolling through Twitter and you're like, I haven't tweeted anything at Joe Biden lately. I'm a scoundrel. Is that what?
Yeah, exactly like that, just like that.
My number one is Rogue One. Again, it doesn't have to be a Star Wars movie. Nothing in this.
Did you say, "Oh, it has one in the title"? I'll just put it up there.
Yeah. No, this is actually my favorite Star Wars movie. I was actually excited to rewatch it. Mm-hmm. And I've probably seen this 3 times, which is more than any of the rest of them on the list, probably. But having, like, a relationship in a movie, not
like it stays
overstep.
platonic.
Yeah. It doesn't overstep. There aren't, that bomb's coming, I need to fuck you real quick.
Yeah, right.
Which I would have asked.
You're a fucking pig.
The only, like, Star Wars thing in this, like, whole on, like, to me, Star Wars is Jedi's. You know, it's called the Skywalker saga for a reason, you know? So, the only thing that screams Star Wars is Vader. But Vader, in my opinion, has been a giant, wet, dripping pussy for 40 fucking years. And you finally have the technology to make him a badass. And that's what they did in this movie. He's throwing people up in the ceiling and stabbing them left and right. That shit's fire. I like that. But before that, I had a great movie. If you ended it on her dying, knowing the plans got where they needed to be,
yeah,
it still would have been a great movie.
Yeah.
But you had that little spice at the end, and I appreciate that. But the war movie in general is just like this. Again, it shows things you can't have in war movies. You know.
Sure. Yeah.
So I thought that was dope. The characters they bring in and like to make their team. You know, they're all very different. They're separate, but they come together. They complement each other very well. And this is a good film.
Yeah.
Not a Star Wars film. It's a good film in general. So I like film.
Yeah.
So now the fun part begins. We all put our list together. Someone who said on plenty of occasions, I hate Star Wars. He loves Star Wars. He loves Star Wars more than his own mother.
Well, that's not true, but...
What, your mother loves Star Wars more than you?
That's also not true. Amazing. Everything you just said was a lie.
That happens often.
Yeah.
We're combining our Star Wars list.
It's a Star Wars quote, and he doesn't even know it.
Obviously. We are back, and we will get into the combined list of Strange Wings and Nate's. Number 11, The Clone Wars.
Number 10 is going to be Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
Episode 3 is going to be Revenge of the Sith.
You're right. Episode 3 is Revenge of the Sith, and it's also number 9.
What did I say?
You just said Episode 3 is Revenge of the Sith. Number 8, Rise of Skywalker.
Number 7, The Force Awakens.
Number 6, Return of the Jedi.
Number 5, Solo.
Number 4 is The Last Jedi.
Number 3, A New Hope.
Number 2, Empire Strikes Back.
Number 1, Rogue One.
That swarm of nerds is gonna kill him.
That's always been a comment. You know that movie's not number 1.
Yeah, I mean,
wait.
like, objectively, no, but that's the way the list worked out, and that's the way it goes. It's fine. I love that movie. And it has 1 in the title. How fitting. Yeah. People are going to think we were high as a fucking kite.
Tell us what you think down in the comment section below. Did we get it wrong? Shit, probably. I'm waiting for the comments. I'm excited. But like, share, and subscribe.